Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and welcome to my evaluation of the Devil game. PES 2013 released its demo sometime today and me and Tyler played a couple of games and I'm just going to give you my thoughts. Now, I am first and foremost a FIFA player, so if you don't like PES and you don't want to hear good stuff about it, don't watch this video. I can't, if you're someone that takes part in the rivalry, think, oh, PES is shit, FIFA's amazing, then I wouldn't recommend watching this video purely because I'm not going to be one of the guys that slags it off. I do play PES 12 quite a lot. It is my second football game. Obviously, I do play FIFA more, but I do enjoy PES 2012. I've never had anything against PES. I have played it a lot through my childhood. It's kind of nostalgic. Maybe I'm clinging on to my childhood. I don't know when I play PES, but that's just kind of the description. So if you don't like this. If you don't like this kind of video, if you don't like people saying good stuff about PES, I wouldn't recommend watching this. In the background as well, it's just me versus Tyler. So I'm going to go straight into it. PES feels quite a lot like PES 2012. PES 13, I can see a lot of similarities. They've kept on the good work that they did in PES 12. Now, PES 12 was probably the best PES since PES 6, really. After PES 6 it seemed to go rapidly downhill, but PES 12 was definitely the best on the current console, and is making gradual steps towards getting back and close to the FIFA series. Still, it's quite a long way off. I'm sure, as you can see this gameplay, it's not quite as good or as clean or whatever as FIFA. Now, people do love FIFA, and they love it for the gameplay. The graphics on PES are pretty damn amazing. I'm not going to lie. That has always been something that PES has had as a pretty good standpoint, I'd say. In recent years, their graphics are very, very good. They do pride themselves in making it look crisp and realistic and lifelike, but then they're let down a bit by the animations. And now the animations on this game are very much like the animations on PES 12 PES 2012 as well. There's not too much difference in that. There are a couple of different shooting animations, which is always nice, and there are a lot of new skill animations. I've been using Neymar, and they've added a lot of nice skills. Some of which they don't have on FIFA, which is nice. They're quite hard to pull off, but when you do, they're pretty overpowered. But there are some new animations. Somewhere they are sprinkled around the game, but still, the running looks a bit awkward, looks a bit robotic. Just look at this running from Ronaldo, looks a little bit too robotic for me. Nice skill there, though. And it is very much, it's still not quite on FIFA's level when it comes to dribbling. FIFA have put a lot into dribbling. There's pro precision dribbling, or whatever the hell it's called, in first touch. And PES still is stuck a bit on the six-way turn point. Six, you can go eight directions, sorry. It's not quite as fluid as FIFA, and that's going to be obvious to anyone that's played FIFA a lot. PES is quite hard to master the dribbling because it is not as fluid or as free as the dribbling on FIFA, and that is a disappointment on PES, but it also adds a bit of fun, I guess. It's quite arcadey. I think that is a lot of what they're going for on PES, and it does, uphold with that arcadey style. So yeah, basically the dribbling and the animations, there are some new animations, and the skills are very fun to use. Just if you're someone that doesn't really like PES, I would recommend, if you want to play your first game, then use Neymar. He's so fun to use on this game purely because he can do so many crazy skills, and he's got a lot of animations kind of stuck to him. I do like this new, I don't know what it's called. What's it called? Player precision or whatever it is, where they've added a lot of new animations to certain players. So if you do play against Neymar on the CPU, he will do loads of skills and take you on and try to make you look like a mug. I like that. They've definitely put a lot of good work into that, and I do appreciate that. I think that's pretty cool. But overall, in the animations, it's still behind FIFA, unfortunately. And I don't want to make this too much of a FIFA comparison, but anyone that is watching this channel is obviously going to be predominantly FIFA, and it's still behind FIFA in that terms. And the graphics, though, I will give it to them, are better than FIFA. The graphics are superb and sublime mixed together. Sublime. They are pretty decent, very crisp. A lot of players have their real faces. If you go through them, they all do look a lot like their real-life counterparts, and that's always quite nice to watch when you can tell immediately who the player is. But generally, the graphics, I would say, are very, very good on this game. In terms of gameplay, it is relatively arcadey, but they have added quite a lot of realism. They've fixed the shooting, as far as I'm aware. If you played PES 12, you'll know that the shooting was a bit crazy. if you just tapped the shoot button, the ball could fly over or it could go top corner. It was a bit pedantic and a bit crazy and a bit ambiguous. You never really knew what you were getting when you went for a shot. On PES, this is on PES 13, sorry, they have fixed this quite a bit. I've realised I haven't been smashing any over by just tapping the button. They have definitely made that better and fixed the ball physics a bit. The ball physics definitely seem better. The ball is a bit heavier. It's when you're dribbling, you know, the player needs to put a little bit more emphasis on the ball if they're going to go anywhere. They definitely have added that in comparison to PES 12, and I do like that. I think that's definitely a very nice bit of work they've done. They've changed the engine in some way, shape or form, which has made it far more enjoyable to play, and I think overall that helps with passing. If you pass the ball on PES 12, it would be either very quick or very slow. On here, it depends on how hard you press the button. So they added that passing feature in PES 11, and they've refined it definitely in PES 13. This is obviously though a very early demo. PES comes out after FIFA, so this could change in the final game. I'm not too sure. This is the first of 2 demos, I do believe. They always do release one earlier, but off the bat in this one, definitely the gameplay feels a lot more fluid, a lot more realistic, and the physics seem much nicer and much more realistic in that sense as well. So definitely they've put some good work into that, and it generally does feel a little bit more realistic than previous PESs, but it still has that lovely arcade feel. It's hard to explain, but that's the way PES has always thrived. Got to get my words out. That's how PES has thrived in its history, really. PES 6 was kind of a mix between arcade and realism, which made it a lot funner to play, in my opinion, than the old FIFA 2007 series and stuff like that, because they focused on this realism aspect, and it always did come off quite well. And this one, they've kind of seemed to hit the balance quite right, really. It's not gone over the top for realism, and it's not gone over the top for scrapping the arcade or arcade in general. So in that sense, the gameplay is a lot more balanced. It's a lot more enjoyable, definitely, I do believe. The ball, definitely, you have to build up chances on this a lot. I mean, it focuses a lot about passing. Pace is not exactly a massive part of this. Obviously, when you're using players like Cristiano Ronaldo, the pace is going to be obvious, but your average Joe, you know, pace isn't going to be that important. It's all about build-up play, and that's one thing I think PES does have a little bit of an edge on FIFA, really. They do like to involve and make the most of passing. FIFA, obviously, you can 1-2 over the top. PES is a little bit more, I don't want to say realistic in that sense, but a lot more liberal in that sense. So if you're someone that can't really use pace, you can't really utilize pace, then you've got to pass it around, and it definitely makes it a lot more balanced and a lot more enjoyable in my opinion, anyway. And I think that's what makes PES. It's just they've fixed all the small points, really. All the other PES games had their own problems. So, for example, PES 11, the players' movement was crap. They kind of fixed that in PES 12, but the shooting went a bit off. This one, I can't see any obvious faults. There is a problem with offline lag. There always seems to be a problem at the start of PES, any PES, any year, with some kind of lag. There is a bit of lag on here, but again, this is first beta, so it's not going to be a massive problem, I don't think, for the final game. But it does get a bit annoying, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, people have to get used to the controls, but it's quite nicely set out. I think the menus, from what I've seen so far, seem relatively nicely set out. Not quite as easy as PES 12. PES 12. They're a little bit more complex, I'd say, but it's not too bad. And hopefully, again, that's something that could be refined and tuned for the full game release. It's just generally, I would say, PES is at the moment just a very nice balanced game to play. Not better than FIFA, unfortunately. FIFA still has somewhat of an edge, I think, and that probably comes down to player animations, really. If they overhauled the animations on here, then I think it would be a very good contender. But still, it's not quite on the same level in terms of animations, which makes it harder. But it is generally just a very nice game to play. I like all the additions. The skills make it very fun. It's always quite fluid. There's always a chance on the go. and tactics do play a pretty major part in it. And it is just generally a game which I think could be very, very fun and could be the closest yet to FIFA. It's never going to challenge FIFA's sales, because obviously FIFA is, it has all the licenses, and people always look for the licenses. But if you look in the right places, you can make PES a very licensed game. You can get option files and whatnot, and you can edit all the kits yourselves. And there is a lot of licensing in terms of FIFA. I mean, Oxlade-Chamberlain has a face, which you don't have on FIFA at the moment. I don't know about FIFA 13. A lot of players have faces like Bonucci, like Müller. A lot of players, obviously some that are on FIFA as well, but there is licensing to a degree, and it is very overall a very kind of tuned and balanced experience. Not quite there yet, but PES 13 is definitely making strides in the right direction. So thanks guys for watching. Sorry if this was a bit jumbled, but yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Au revoir.